Okay, we're going to build the gym because I forgot on Monday to show you guys how to do the curved roof. So we're going to draw that right now. So here's my gymnasium. First step is you've got to figure out what height that you're building at. So in my case, I could read off the contours, but in my case I've got rather crude contours. So I'm just going to grab the column tool with the gravity and I can hover around there. I can see over here that the Z is at about 28.2. Cool. 28. I don't get any lower than 28. So I'm going to set my walls at 28. Hang on, I'm just going to go new layer called gym walls. Oops, with my all caps on. And set this to gym walls, square on an angle, yep. Base height is at 28. Okay, and I'm going to draw my walls so that they're 12 meters high. Alright. So remember the settings are slightly different. And here I set the base height of the wall and how high the walls are. Whereas in the normal, that little toolbar, you set the base height and the top height. Okay, same thing, just two different ways of thinking of it. That top height I need to know later on for setting the height of my roof. So, square on an angle, bottom corner, and stretch her out. Excellent. Hit F3, and it looks great. Does it? No, it doesn't. What the hell happened there? The bottom, for some reason, is 28.18. Anybody know why? Someone said gravity. Correct. I still had the gravity switched on from when I used that column tool, so when I went and drew the walls, I went and set the height. Now that's cool, although then I get funny numbers, so then I go to put my roof in, I've got to put in 40.18 and all this sort of crazy stuff, which I don't really like. Also, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to show you, if I did want to do it that way, and I did it wrong, if I started up here, go F3, you'll see that I'm actually floating. Hang on. Well, I should be. Actually, an easy way to tell is if you select it. No, I'm not. Oh, because I didn't have gravity switched on. Walls. So this time I turned gravity on like I had last time. Cool, and you can see that this thing here is actually still not floating. Ah, I see, because the other side, for some reason my hill's going downhill on the other side. Let's do it again. Terrible. Trying to get it to fail and I can't. Oh. Turn the gravity on zone, walls, gravity. Okay, this time it will fail. Alright, see, I can see a shadow underneath it. So if you see a shadow underneath your building, it's like a warning. And if you select it, you can actually see that it's not going underground. When you go to render, it's really obvious when things are floating. Sometimes it's not so obvious in here. So, easy fix. Base is at 28. Okay, chunk, excellent. I've buried the bottom. Everybody is happy. The top's at 40, that's very nice. Is that just an ugly shadow, is it? No. Alright, so next thing I need to do is put my roof on. So normally we would use the roof tool, however you'll notice there's no curved roof option in here. So it's called a shell. There's lots of options with the shell. I might go over them in a bit more detail with the next assignment. But at this stage, we're just going to do a very simple shell. So I'm just using this first option here, and the first option here, which is looks just like the roof that we want to draw, in fact. And I believe it's length first, then width. Oh, hang on. I also need to set my base height to 40. So that's the base of my shell is coming down to 40, so it will touch the top of my walls. If it's set to 0, it'll be underground. Okay, yeah, I do it all the time as well. Select that, do the length, drag it out. Make sure you're snapping, okay? And make sure you're snapping to the right side of the wall as well. You want it to go from the outside edge down to the outside edge. Make sure you're not going from the outside to the inside, because then it'll be on a funny angle. Hit F3. All right. Kind of what I wanted. However, it looks a bit ugly. It doesn't quite look right. So, simple option here. So I'm just going to turn my sections back on. I had it earlier. I'm just going to delete this one. All right. So, what I want to do is I can actually go into 3D here and then grab the top of this and drop it down. You know, and you could eyeball it. However, the problem with that is that, again, you're going to get funny numbers. And then it comes to doing anything else, like we want to put some pillars in here, then you're going to start entering all these weird numbers, like 47.35. And it's a real pain in the bum. So let's do it properly. So what I'm going to do is just draw a section across the front of this building. So a section. I'm going to draw it from out here somewhere, because I might put some of these columns in, so I might go a little bit wider. I want to be parallel to this wall as well. So see that little orange dot? If I click on that, I should get a parallel line. I'm going to bring it out to about here. And I want to draw back here somewhere. Excellent. Here's my new section. And it looks just like that. So now I can do exactly what I did before. However, I'm going to give myself a little bit of a guideline in here. So I'm going to grab my line tool, hover over here, I should get the halfway point, and I'm going to go D 6 meters. Not working millimeters. So that's 6 meters up. Excellent. So now I can grab the top of my roof and drag it down, snap to that, and I know the top of my roof is at 6 meters. So now if I go and have to put something on the top of that, I know it's 46 meters. Don't have to have some kind of crazy number. If I dimension this up, it's going to be all nice numbers, not some crazy thing. It looks beautiful. I can get rid of this line now if I want. Okay, all right. Next thing. That's all good. Looking beautiful. I just need to raise these walls up, because I need to trim them off. So I can just pop in here actually and just go 46. Cool. And design, connect, trim elements. So this is what we did the other day. Alright, I just need to rotate my view around a little bit. There we go. That's my roof. That's the end that I want to keep. Alright, and I've gone and made the same shape as our gym. Pretty cool. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on this a little bit. I could get that orange stripy thing going. I'm not too worried if you do it in this session. See, it's got these stripes going up the... I could do that with a whole bunch of walls. Personally, I'd probably do it with the material, but we're not going to be creating our own custom materials yet. But in the future, what I'd do is I'd create a material that had those stripes on it, and then I can just apply it to those walls. Alternatively, I could have a whole bunch of walls all stacked on top of each other. Just makes it a bit more work, because I'd have to go and trim each one. I could set them all and go trim to the roof, but I'm not too worried about it at this stage. I am, however, going to go and stick that round window that you can see in there. There's like a... not in that photo. Somewhere. Blah, 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 blah. See, there's like a round window up here. Here's a good photo of the gym. Yeah, you can see it's in there. So I'm going to do that. Windows. Now, I'm going to do it kind of crude, and then I'm just going to line it up properly. Go and find a round window. So I think it's a special window. Round. I went up there and measured it. It was 4 meters round. Also, it's actually got louvers through here. I've already shown somebody how to do this. So there is no option for louvers in this particular case. However, there is an option to put mullions on here. And I can say how many vertical and horizontal I want. So I want one vertical, none vertical. Oh no, actually sorry, I want it the other way around. I did that last time as well, didn't I? I'm going to put, let's say 8 and none. Cool, so I get that. And then I just change the width of these, so it's about 0.1. No, maybe 0.3. Cool, and I've got kind of like a grill. I can change its texture as well if I wanted to let's say paint 01. Paint 01. Okay. I'm just going to drop it in here lazily. Go into my section. Oh, so this is where I should have left my line in there. It would have been quite convenient. And I'm going to drag this up to, let's say about there. Again, I probably want to go through. See, it's got this height. I just like to keep these nice 12 meters, beautiful. That means it lines up there. Cool. Is it centered? Probably not. But if I hover over this line, I should get a tick mark somewhere. Yeah. Cool. All right. If you want to do the columns and stuff around the side, you can do that. I'm not too worried. It does prove that you can use ArchiCAD's column tool. Again, I'm going to set the base to 28 and the top to 46 meters because I know that's how high my building is. I'm going to pop one. Let's just zoom in here a bit. Again, refer to your photos, and you can kind of see it's kind of got like these big ones. It's got 3 of those big ones, and it's got a whole bunch of shorter ones. So those ones will be 12. Those ones are going to be 40. Or that one's going to go up to 40 meters, and the other one's going to go up to 46. I might actually just put all of them in there, because all I have to do is click on one. Is that round enough? Not really, is it? Let's make that 0.4. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool. And I need. Actually, I'll copy and paste these ones out first. So, Command U, I can multiply. I'm going to do an increment. So I'm going to specify how far apart they are, and then I need, bugger, there's 3, so that must be 1, so that must be the middle one there, eh? So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, 5 copies. Do the increment. Cool, so I'm going to go from the center. I need to be parallel to this. If I hover over, there's a little orange line, there's a parallel. And I should have ended up with, I'm one short, damn. Command U. Give me 6 copies. It doesn't actually come all the way out, does it? Oh, I think that's a lean-to there, actually. Again, more photos would have helped. Oh, I don't want any vertical displacement. That should be 0. Cool. Again, orange up to about there. Okay. I could have actually, in fact, a better way to do it is if I go Command U, distribute 6 of them. I'll reduce my error then across this distance. Again, see, if I wanted to be nice about this, I could go, okay, let's do 36 meters parallel to this, and make sure we're running parallel. Cool. And let's go D36. Beautiful. So that looks like that. Set this one, this one. Oh, hang on. So that one must be a tall one. That one must be a tall one, and that one's a tall one. So this one's a short one. That one's a short one. that one's a short one, and that one's a short one. Cool. Neat. Okay, and so then there's like these beams that go across. There's actually another set of poles that go, by the look of it, kind of inside the wall as well. So that's easy. So I'm going to grab a whole bunch of these. Again, in this case, it's actually easier. If I just draw a marquee here, right? I don't know if I've got any other columns. I'm going to draw a marquee. Columns, select all. I select all the columns inside the marquee. Brilliant. And I'm going to do another Command U. I want one copy. And I'm going to do, well, it doesn't really make any difference in this case. And I want to go from here, and I want to be perpendicular to this. There we go. Oh, am I getting that nice snap? Yep. Actually, no, hang on. Command U. Yeah. From there to there. So it's kind of half in the wall, I suppose. That looks about right, eh? Alright. And all of those ones... damn, I had them selected. Can I reselect? No, that sucks. That's right, I can do the same trick, but my marquee needs to be a different shape. Columns, select all. They're all going to be 40. See, it already says 40. If you just type over it, though. Come on. Okay, do this. 41. 40. There we go. Beautiful. Actually, what if those other ones go up higher? Doesn't matter. Cool. Now, the next thing is I want a copy of all these on the other side. So just go column, select all, and I'm going to mirror a copy. So if I click on one of them, right, I get the little mirror option. I'm going to mirror them along this point here, but I want to be normal to there. So all I do, remember, to mirror a copy, just touch the option key. So go option, okay, and it's going to mirror a copy. Make sure we're perpendicular. And so I've got all the ones on the other side now. Beautiful. Cool. Now I just need to put these beams through, so it looks like they kind of go. Now the top's going to be at 46. Actually, I'm doing it here. Top is 46. When I do that, I think that's 0.4, I think, was my beams. I'm going to go 0.35, so they're kind of like a little bit smaller. Maybe they kind of get welded on top. Is that okay? So that's going to go from there to there. And then to there. It seems to kind of go off at this, something like that. Cool. Again, I can just like mirror a copy of that one. So click on that node and I'll get the mirror from here. Hit the option key. Excellent. Looks like I need another beam going from here, possibly to the center. Is that all of them? No, that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't quite look right though. Yeah. Anyway, again, if I take more photos, I'd probably have to tell. But you can see I've got the basic shape. I think there's some that go across the top here as well. So let's do another beam. Top of that was 40 meters. So let's set that at 40. And it looks like these ones just go kind of straight from one side to the other. So from there, you got to be a little bit careful, see, because I did get the centre, but make sure you don't accidentally like snap to there, or there. It's going to look ugly. They don't look like they're wide enough, really, are they? I might select all my beams and make them wider later on. Cool, and this one over here. Awesome. That looks pretty cool. Maybe I don't need these ones, but anyway, from down here though on the sports field, it looks awesome. Yeah, and that's what I'm after. I'm after something that just looks like the stadium, so that if I show a rendering and people look at that, they go, oh, there's the stadium, it's a landmark, so you kind of know where you are, and you know the scale of things. And it's going to look a little bit weird because I'm still in. Oh, I should have, yeah. Well, yeah, because I could have gym walls and gym beams. But that was unintended. So, or I could just have a layered gym and just put everything on that one layer. In this case, yeah, sure. If I was designing a gym, I would probably have them on separate layers. But in this case, I probably just want to switch the gym on or off. I wouldn't really want just the gym beams, the gym columns and stuff.
With the generic buildings, if it already has all the walls layer,
Yeah.
the building's roof.
Yeah, if they're quite significant though, like because you kind of got like that sports building, you might want sports walls.
I've got that
Yeah.
separated. So like the 3 or 4 sports
And then
buildings.
outer, block, random houses later or something, So, because all of those houses are, and buildings that are just outside of the study area and they're just big blocks or whatever, then, just have them on one layer. You can switch them on and off. It's totally up to you. I mean, really, at the end of the day. But do have them on different layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've got quite a lot of layers running at the moment.
Yeah, that's really good because then when it comes to like doing your plans and it's like, okay, I really want to see the building footprints, not a problem. You can turn on their buildings and you'll see all the building footprints.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So I've got slabs. I'm putting slabs.
Yeah, that's fine. Because in 2D, it's going to look great. You're going to see the building footprints because that's what they look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to do the stairs again, the bleachers again, or are we going to look at from what we've done?
Yeah, I can do the bleachers again.
I'd really like to do those again.
All right, let's do I'm going to do the bleachers again. All right, so. Oh, sorry. I can't forget. There's a class list floating around somewhere. Please sign it. Have you got it? Who said that? All right. Okay, class list. Has everybody signed it? Yep. You hear that? Sign the class list. Okay, so let's cruise over here. Can I use the marquee in this? Possibly. There's a bloody good chance I'll end up with the road slab. All right, delete. Okay, so first we have to make sure that we can actually build our bleachers in here. So what's important is that we've got, for bleachers, we want a nice even spacing of our contours going up the hill. Okay, if they're all evenly spaced, it means we've got a constant slope. Okay, so you can see in the corner here, chances are that they're going to get buried a little bit because all of a sudden the terrain's going out, so it's going to get higher. So we need those contours to be underneath our bleachers. So we need to know what the height difference is, which is relatively easy here because we can go 15, 16, 17, 18 metres. So the top is 18, bottom's 15. We can do some math. 5, 6, 7, 8, it's 3 metres. So we're going to go up 3 metres. So if we had 10 steps, there'll be 30 centimetres each step. Cool. So that's what our rise would be. Then we've got the run, which we could also measure off this plan. However, let's just have a look at this in a much easier way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a section through this. So I can measure the distances. Now what's really, really important at this stage is I don't do a section at a funny angle, because otherwise if I measure anything in there it's going to be wrong. So I'm actually going to draw a line in here. Actually I might just run it straight down like this. Actually no, I'll do it the correct way. I will create myself a little guideline here. So this is like a temporary guideline running down this length. I don't want to do it across that way because I could be out. If I go this way though, yeah, I'm changing like degrees and like hundredths of a degree. If I go the other way, I'll be changing in like probably whole degrees. All right, so here's my guideline. Now I'm going to do a section through here, and I'm going to be normal. See how it's got that little perpendicular symbol? Cool. And I don't have to draw back very far. All right, so now I've got section A9, and it looks like that. So here's another trick. If you look at the 2D, right, so here's my section. I'm just going to change my scale so that these things end up smaller. Right, that's nicer. All right. The only reason I did that is I'm a bit lazy and I just want these things to be smaller, so I just change the scale and the scale of my symbols will change. Here I can see where the top and the bottom should be. So if I just get a column here, I'm going to flick gravity on as well. So this is the bottom of my stair, and this is the top of my stairs. Okay, you can also actually see that means the top is at 18.13 and the bottom's at 15. That's kind of convenient. And if I open up the section, I can see where the top and bottom of my stairs should be. So the columns are just there just for a little guide, but it's quite convenient. So that means, as I said before, that's going up to 18.13. So let's say I make my stairs go up to 18. So 15, 16, 17, 18. So I've got 3 metres. And I've got to run from the top here to over here. It's about 10 metres. Cool. So that means that if I make my stairs 1 metre each and 0.3 high, I can fit my stairs quite nicely into this, and they'll start down the bottom, they'll go up. All right. That's actually going to be the base as well. Just remember that's from the bottom there to the top there. So my stairs might be a little bit higher. Cool. So let's draw that bottom stair in. So I'm going to draw a slab. Yes, who's that? Oh, yeah. Yes, quite possibly. But for the sake of the exercise, they're not.
So we don't have to worry about that much.
Nah, not really. But yeah, but by all means, I just kind of assumed that they're all steps. But you know, you're probably dead right. It's probably a concrete and then the steps. Yeah. But mine aren't. All right. So my top surface. Now I actually want my top surface to actually be a little bit higher. Although if you're doing it your way, they wouldn't be. But anyway. So I'm going to set my top surface. So each step is going to be 30 high. That means if the bottom was sitting at 15, then it goes up 0.3. And then keep going up like that. This stage doesn't really matter. The depth of the step, so I've set that to 0.5. However, I can change that later, and I'll show you why. So that means the base is at 14.8, so I'm buried 0.2 into the ground, which is nice. I'm now going to go and draw my stair in here, so it looks like it starts about here. I'm doing a square and an angle here. I'm going to draw all the way back to here. Cool. And now I want to go, so it's looking pretty square. If that went off at a funny angle, I'd be a little bit alarmed, but it isn't. D1. So my step is 1. You want to type the number in because then you know exactly what you're dealing with, because later we're going to do a step and repeat and we want to know what the increments are. So let's have a look at my section again. Beautiful. So I'm going to go dig, 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 dig. So now I just need to select my stair, Command U or Edit, Move, Multiply. I want, actually I'm just going to do a spread, real easy. Spacing is 1 metre, yep. Vertical displacement was 0.3. Okay. And I'm going to grab the corner here because I need it to stop at a certain point. Now, again, see I'm kind of got nothing to go by, so if I hover over here, I get that little orange dot. Now I can make sure I'm perpendicular. Awesome. Yeah. Let's go from my top. I'm actually kind of buried. What if I go 0.35? Or it's my terrain. Yeah, I might do 0.35. I should get a better slope then. So I'm just going to go F2, undo, Command U, 0.35. Okay. From this corner going back perpendicular to this. Cool. Let's have a look at that. That's pretty good. The top there's a little bit buried, but not a big deal. All right. So now, cunning trick. It's quite easy in this view. You can see the only slabs in here are my steps. That's nice because I can just go slab select all, and I'm going to set their base height to 15.8. No, sorry, 14.8. Ching. And so there you are. Have a look in 3D. Awesome. Okay, so this is very dependent that you've got the slope nice and even through here. Okay, I can actually move points around, so I can actually see there's actually there's a ridge here. So, you can see that I can actually move this around right up to about here before it starts getting buried. So you can kind of manipulate the contours afterwards. But then I'd have to really drop into here and make sure, see there's that contour? See, so I could actually line that contour up with that. Oopsies, make sure you only move the contour, not the entire mesh zone. Yeah. So you can do it afterwards as well. You can kind of manipulate it a little bit. But you can see I've actually buried it slightly. So maybe that wasn't a good idea. Maybe where it was just fine. And you can also see what the height should be, because if I go again to that section, you can see here's that contour running through here. It's a little bit cryptic, but I can see that there's contour there. There must be a contour here. If I did a thin section, it might be a little bit easier, or I narrowed the depth of that section so I wasn't, because I'm seeing all these points in the distance. Actually, that's my entire mesh. I don't think it would make any difference, but I can actually see that that point there is actually this contour. So, again, I could drop columns as well, just to. Sorry. That's all right. That's perfect. That's awesome. Now, actually, let's say though, because that looks beautiful. But what happens if I actually wanted to do this a little bit nicer? If I go, for one, they're actually on a steps layer. So if I go and hide the steps, right? That's not entirely true. If I got rid of my steps, if I was trying to show stage 1, there'd be a big hole underneath my steps. Also, you'll actually notice if I turn the steps back on, this is a little bit of a cheat, but oh well. And I wouldn't recommend you did this if things were majorly wrong. But see over in the corner here, see they're getting buried a little bit? Okay, and you probably wouldn't do that. So, how about, actually I can get rid of these things now. How about I just do a solid element operation? Again, it's actually easier to grab my steps in here. Actually, it doesn't keep selected though, does it? No, it doesn't. So I've got to select all my stairs. So I'm just going to do a marquee. Slab, select all. Excellent. Just make sure you haven't accidentally selected your road slab. Actually, not that it would make much difference in this case, but that's my operator. 10 steps. My mesh. I've actually already. I did this earlier. Actually, I'm going to delete my road mesh for now, right? My mesh is my target. I'm going to do a subtraction with upwards extrusion, blah, 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 blah. Actually, I want to use their own attributes. So if I turn the stairs off, I'd see dirt. I don't want to see concrete. Cool. So there you can see I've done that little operation. So I mean, if you're majorly out, it's going to be this huge, big cut. The other cool thing is that, I could actually go and change things like, drag this step back further into the bank, and it's going to chop into the bank. So now I'm going to just recreate my road slab. Oops, where are we? Which I'm sure we've all done a million times now. Command C, Command V. Cool. Look outside the box. Select it. Change it. It's always the first one that you click on. Road slab. Asphalt light. Okay. Command 9. Minus 0.1. Okay. F3. Now, I'm going to switch my steps off. And look, I'm revealing my road slab, which isn't very cool. So, I could do a solid element operation to my road slab as well, or I can just select it. That's the road slab. Go back to the mesh tool and chop a dirty great big hole in it. Remember when we were adding points? There's this option to create a hole. So what I've done is I've just gone and chopped a giant big hole in my road slab. I don't really care because it's going to look like that. Okay, you don't want to chop it too big because you might go and chop through part of one of your roads, but it's a hell of a lot quicker and easier to do that. Cool, so I could actually show now stage 2. Oh, what's that happening there? I've probably altered the shape of my road mesh slightly by deleting points. That's alright, I'll just chop out some more. Minus. Oops. Minus that shape as well. Oh, crikey. Yeah, doesn't matter. I'm just going to go Z height, make that 20 meters, apply to all. Oh no, sorry, 15 meters. What am I saying? No, make it 14 meters. I'll just bury it. I'll bury my mistake. There we go. It shouldn't affect these ones up here because there's lots of points in between there and the road. You get a little bit of that when you zoom out, because as you zoom out, those two surfaces are so close together sometimes, but you'll find that it always renders correctly. So even though, especially when it gets steep as well, you sometimes get it. See, it's like doing that. It's just because it's just beneath the surface and it's like going, this is so ridiculously close, I don't know really if there's much difference. But you'll always find that as soon as you render, the renderer always sees it correctly. Oh, that's just rendering the whole scene. Hopefully I haven't got sketch render switched on. See, it's all clean. The other one's not showing up. Those are bean bags, just in case you're wondering. It's also way too large. Document, creative imaging, photo rendering settings. Size the 3D window. Sweet. Command L. Switch on my steps. Cool. Okay. Nice. Options. Photo render projection. This is drought conditions, of course, that's why the ground's all yellow. Cool. Look recognisable to some degree. Is there anything anybody wants me to go over that they're not too sure about? Please don't say how to create a mesh. Yeah. Yeah, there is one more tutorial session that we can spend on this.
On here is for the studio. Because I've got a studio next week and the studio split after, and I'll just get with the team.
That's all right. Nothing else? I will stop this recording.